everything's kind of frozen on my end.
You get to introduce yourself, Imani.
She can't hear us, I don't think. So she's got to log out and log back in. Can you hear us? Yeah, sometimes you got to log back out, log back in.
Yeah, sorry, everything's kind of glitchy. My Wi-Fi isn't the best right now. Okay, I'll try and leave and come back.
What do you say, Lori?
Me? Hi, I'm Laurie.
Larry.
Laurie. Like Laurie. Yeah. And so far I know I'm from the planet Earth. But yeah, I'm really stoked.
All right, I'm from Earth too.
What do you mean by you're from planet Zoltar? What did you say?
I don't really know, but I expect you're going to find out in the next 4 hours.
Okay, right.
Hello. I can hear you guys now. It's not as choppy. Sorry about that.
Hi, Imani.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Coming along, slow but sure. I think I might be a little balding, but besides that, I'm coming along. And who's that something there? Carolina? What is it?
Hi, my name is Carolina and I'm from Mexico, but currently living in Cresta. And William's my husband.
She keeps me in line, Lori, when you're not around, Larry.
Laurie.
Laurie.
Yes, thank you.
I'm going to write it on my forehead. Let's see, L-A-H, that's how I'm doing it. Laurie.
Like sorry? Yeah, some people say Laurie, but that's not my name. It's Laurie.
Right. You know, my family calls me Billy, and I don't know, who the hell's Billy, for God's sakes? Still, after all these years, my mom says, Billy! So I have to come running. Laurie. Very interesting. Okay, well, I don't know what to say or do. That's the key to any magic I might have. You never know on a good day. I know you all have magic. So my key to magic is that I don't know and that you might have magic. So I want you to get a piece of paper and a pen, please. And this is going to be probably very different than any idea that you had. So just hang with me a little bit, put up with me a little bit, and let's see if we can create advanced meditation, because that's really what it's about around here. So in Qigong, the most advanced stage of Qi development is called embryonic breathing. In science, if people come here to the center, you know, I put a brainwave machine on their head or heart rate variability, and oh, you know how to meditate? Okay, you have to show me then. Otherwise, let me teach. So we have the chance, once again today, I have the chance and you have the chance, some kind of cosmic tumblers aligned and said, we're all gonna go on a journey today. And that chance is to slow down, stop, and reverse the search, to not know, to have a problem, to be confused, to accept help like from the trees swaying or the water lapping on the ocean. So to do that, we're going to have to combine grace and problem, dance back and forth. You know, if we do too much of the problem area of things, then it becomes self-critical and then we become depressed. I don't want that. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is to legitimately say, oh, I need help with my digestion or whatever. And in doing that, to drop the defense mechanisms, to feel safe enough to let life back in. So if I go down the line and I look into everybody's eyes, I can see you know, whether you're in love and happy and content or whether you're in mental obsession. So how many people are in mental obsession and not in love and happy and juicy? Am I the only one? Oh, thank you very much. So we don't want to do it. You're like this. So we don't really want to do that because then we're vulnerable, and vulnerability, you know, means then you get criticized and all this kind of stuff. That's not what I'm doing around here. Might seem like it along the way because I'm very harsh, but you've only got me for 4 hours, so you won't see that part. but you know, you got to train. You got to train. So on that piece of paper, draw a stick person. And each time we do this, you know, we just have another chance to like dip in magic waters, because one moment has changed our life again and again. One moment of trauma, one moment of good things has just rippled our entire lives. So what if we were to have some completely amazing moment? That's what I try to do every day. That's what I do with my different classes and courses and whatever else. I just try to make it so that we all have an amazing moment. It doesn't solve everything, but it does give you brainwave change, hormone change, breathing pattern change, pulse change, all these kinds of things. So if you do that and can duplicate that consistently for many, many years, then you just self-reinvent. The most challenging thing for us is to feel safe and to actually start over again, once again. You know, usually we go from thing to thing, and most of the time it's very difficult for us to do any such thing as called teacher or teaching. Because little teachers like me, how much can I do? But real supernatural people do exist. You know, I was the head of security for the guru of the Beatles after the Beatles time. I was a Zen monk 4.5 years. I owned martial arts schools years ago. Read about 1,000 books. I was a head cook for one of the world's top Taoist priests and Qigong people. And I can go on and on and on, but so, you know, I have a terrible school of hard knocks beyond imagination. And then before that, Golden Spoon family. So that's my progression in life. And because of my own personal trauma being in the extreme zone, I had to be a monk and be a whatever and try to live, you know, because the only people that live are those that self-reinvent. Got to become a new person every day. And that's what I do when I teach. I try to find out how I'm on the same page as you, and I'm going to connect us up with the real deal of teachers, the guy whom the Dalai Lama says the greatest living meditation master, you know, on and on and on. That's where I surrender everything. And to get there, got to have a need. You got to say, I need help, I'm confused, stuff like that. So who wants to share their Scribbles map, their stuck person? Anybody feel comfortable with sharing like where they feel stuck or what challenges there are? So we're going to create the foundation so we can let some good air come in there and maybe heal some stuff.
I could start with the struggle of balancing like the exterior world and your internal world. Like your own life might be being you're content and everything's fine, but externally there's all this chaos in the world, and how to manage that is kind of where I'm struggling.
Thank you very much. Now we'll all get healed because of your transparency. So thank you, Masterette. So I think I'm going to try and ask, if I may, Anthony to answer, and then I'll chime in. But this is a great challenge for us, right? All to drop the defense mechanism and feel the outside world on the inside, and then also still be safe, not be run over by everybody. So the more we're run over by everybody, the more that we create a wall, and then we get crushed more. So push hands is the hint, Anthony.
Push hands is the hint.
That's the hint for your most excellent, my support for your wisdom to come through.
Okay, I'll see if I can explain that.
In your heart.
First of all, I have to say that the answer wouldn't come from an intellectual perspective, from a linear process, because if I were to attempt to answer that, I would have a lot of conditions and yeses and nos and rules and, you know, think that I know actually what I'm saying. So the real answer comes from, I would say, my heart. Is that I feel I can relate to feeling inside, feeling at peace, and feeling like I know that I'm alive and I'm loved. I'm a human being, and yet on the outside there's the chaos, as you said, right? The chaos. So it really feels like surrendering. That the chaos on the outside, it exists inside of my mind mostly. That everything on the outside is actually love, but because of my intellectual, because of my conditioning, like whatever my trauma was when I was younger, I identify so much chaos. So I think as far as the push hands, it's like a dance of energy. It's like I have my own energy. So if I express my love, right, I'm sort of sending an energy. And really the world isn't this rigid thing that wants to fight back at me. The world is actually made up of that love as well, right? And so the other people or situations which I would judge with my mind as chaos, they might be in their mind judging stuff as chaos as well. So letting go of the judgmental, the fear, the criticism, beating myself up, thinking I'm not good enough, blaming others in a way, by letting go of that, I can't really explain it because it's hard to put into words, but it doesn't appear to be, even though it's chaos, it serves me in a way. It's like I accept that it's just random stuff, and then all the chaos that I'm judging, they in fact are having the same thing going on inside of their mind. So it's like it becomes a dance. So by feeling with my heart, like you said, you feel the inside already. So boom, you feel that peace on the inside, expressing that and recognizing that you can learn from that, which you might judge as chaos. You can learn, it can teach you. It's not there to fight you. So I'd say accepting it, you're being aware of it, and then we're in a position right now to learn these 3 steps, which really it becomes the tool to help balance that out, what you just was asking for. Anyways, that's my best feeling on that.
Love it. Thanks.
Yeah, that was a really helpful answer. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you for asking the question.
Imani.
Yeah.
Put your hand up like this. So there is conflict in the world. There's negative, there's neutral, there's positive in all energy. Keep your hand up there. So anything in the world of form is got conflict to it because energy is made up of negative and positive polarity. You with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm getting at is that the conflict that exists, that comes at you because you're transparent, because you're permeable, because you have the ability to have some type of an inner life that is not only in conflict like most of the world runs. So the only thing that pushes on you is something that has a dynamic also that you need to work with. So I'll push on your hand, okay?
Okay.
Her hand moved out. And that's what everybody does. Is that if I get close to you, what you're going to, first thing is, as I said before, nobody wants a teacher. Let's establish that ground rule. So I'm sorry that that's true, because that's my only hope in life. And I'm going to try to come through as a mini teacher, in the next so many hours. But listen, I can't share anything unless unless there's this, unless there's moving and shaking with me. If there's only this, because every time everybody's told you something or communicated or been your friend or whatever, they've taken advantage or they let you down, then as we get older, we become harder and then we die. So what we're trying to learn to do is to move and shake. So if I move your hand and turn your torso. Turn your left shoulder back. Let's keep your left hand on your left side. So
Okay.
bring your, yeah. So I'll push with my left hand. And now when I push, move your hand, your arm, and your shoulder, and your whole body, move it back. Okay, good, good, good. All right, now push on me. Push with your palm. Push. Ow! Okay. Now go like this. Go like this. Now I'm going to push on you. Ready? Right. Okay, now in that position, if you wanted to slap me upside the head, you'd be able to do it. But in this position, when you're frozen and you're trying to keep the outside world separate from the inside world, then the universe is going to create trauma. That's good. The guru of the Beatles told me one day, you can put your hand down. The guru of the Beatles said to me one day, he said, stop pretending there's an outside world and an inside world. There's only one world. There's the inside world. And when you have enough courage to say, this person's pushing on you and it's making you feel uncomfortable, you're going to now learn to say for the rest of your life, why am I uncomfortable? Not why did you make me uncomfortable? And in doing that, you'll be able to fight or set a boundary better if you need to do that. Or you'll find that everybody is a god wearing a mask. So it gives you the opportunity to figure out what the heck they're saying, because the whole big thing is like one white light. And the one white light is coming out of the movie theater. And then on the screen, there's all sorts of scenes. And when you're in your mystical place, you know that's true. The dream world is more real than the physical world. So you got to get back behind that white light and be in your secret place and put it right in somebody's face talking to them. And let me tell you, that takes a lot of grit and a lot of courage and a lot of conflict. But you can do it with love and you'll fight less. You'll be able to ground the negative dynamics between yourself and the world more effectively, and you'll be able to give more grace. Because if you push on me, or let's say it again, if you had your hand up and I push on you, then I go like this, I'll pull back. People want to peck on what is not permeable. So that doesn't mean that you surrender and you just go like this and then be a victim. So those are the two things that people do, either surrender and collapse or be like, okay, you want to fight? Watch this. Those are the two polarities of our bipolar minds. So in Qigong, now I have to talk about Qigong because Qigong class. There's the 3 powers and the 3 treasures. So if your mind feels content enough that you can begin a training program, you can pick whatever you want. The inner teachings of yoga, Qigong, this teacher, that teacher, and we're going to get to that in a while. But today's forum, we're going to focus a lot on Qigong. But really what works for you is what you get healed by as an individual. So if you like the Beatles music, did you put the Beatles on today? Well, if you didn't, then you're probably just lost in your head. In other words, you might get tired of it in a few days, but there's a whole world of gifts that's trying to talk to us, and we're a bit busy. But if the need becomes clear enough from the scribbles map, from the stuck spot map, then you can begin to do the 3 powers and 3 treasures. 3 powers and 3 treasures of Qigong is a great way to look at enlightenment in the body. It's easy to have enlightenment outside the body, transcendentally, dissociatively, and to say, yeah, I'm not in mental obsession. I'm at peace. I'm fine with everything. But to do it with your mind and with your body as you exist, with this psychic field and these people and this place and this circumstance and these governments, now that's a different story. The mind is all the time trying to comment on every single person that comes into your life, and you try to make you right and them wrong, no matter how great they are. Otherwise, you'd have all these sages and saints pouring through your life, right? So 3 powers means that your mental obsession feels safe because something worked. The Beatles song, the friend, you know, it's worked a million times before. I hope to help you make it work even more in a lasting way that gives you measurable results from this moment forward for the rest of your life. 3 powers: sky, earth, body. So if you're in mental obsession, there's no sky, there's no ocean, there's no trees, there's no earth. My third eye basically is open. So when I'm talking to you, I see things here in the air, like the sky and the earth and the trees and things like that. So you could do that more and be in line with this powerhouse of nature that's streaming into your head and streaming in from the trees and streaming in from the ocean, if you can only stop the commentary. So if you fall in love and become happy, commentary stopped. Great bite of food, commentary stopped. There's a lot of models. Beautiful scene in nature really is a great one. Love and sex is the model of enlightenment. You fall in love, you have the best sex you ever had, you have the mutual orgasm, hopefully, and then you sleep better than you ever did in your whole life, and you wake up and suddenly it's a nicer world. Everybody's in a better mood. That's meditation. And every system of enlightenment, it's the same thing. This head gets calmed by something that soothes the cortex. Some sight, some sound, some food, some new teaching, something. And the energy then comes down into the body and you have embodiment. Now, if you really have embodiment, then you sit with nature. You move with nature. So I propose to you that for 10 seconds now and then for the rest of your life, when you go outside, stop, say 10 in your mind, and do the sky and the earth and the nature and try to co-process as many nourishments as you can, because connectivity is power. When you're alone in a scene in nature, that power streams in. You need to do it with the personality. You need to do it while you're talking to people. All right, so that builds Jing Qi Shen. The 3 powers builds the 3 treasures. 3 treasures is root power. That's your gravity. That's the key to physical super strength or physical healing if you need healing. That's the key to protection. That creates the Wei Qi they talk about in Qigong. Wei Qi is the overflow of energy that comes out. So Jing is essence, that's root. That's when you come back from meditation or when you have connectivity with the 3 powers and you land. And then that produces Qi, and that's how you say it correctly. Qi. And that's magnetic energy. If you feel really good because something happened, you got a giant check, you fell in love, you had the great food, I don't know. Why don't we make a list later on today to see what it is that could shift your neurology for the better? You get powered up, you get magnetism. And that magnetism is for one purpose, to define how you're going to look into your own psychology, look into your own person and heal yourself. That's what the purpose of magnetic energy is. So that's Qi. And then when you refine your own body and mind, your own psychology, that produces Shen, that means spirit. So all of Qigong is based on the 3 powers and the 3 treasures. 3 powers are sky, blue sky, boundary layer to stars. The word in Chinese is Shen. Same word for God, Huangdi. Anyway, it just means when you're kind of happy or you're freed up, you have some gift given to you. And then all of a sudden you're kind of freed up. So you see everything, your head is lit up, you know, sky. That's the first power. Second power, earth. The earth has negative ions in it. The sky has positive ions in it. You're a wire in between them. So there's little tendrils in your brain and in your body, little things that can stretch out and be connected to sky, earth, and body. And of course, if I put a flower under your nose, that's some kind of nourishment. You receive nourishment. It'll be registered if you take measurements in your body. Well, the same way the blue sky does something, the twinkling stars does something, the floating clouds does something, trees, bear fur. How much can you see at the same time? That's each a little miracle ingredient. The other miracle ingredients is what allows you to get to this place of power is the people in your life and the circumstances as they are. Who you are, right, wrong, bad, indifferent, whatever, and who they are, your history. So that's the field of psychic magnetism. You can't get to the sky and the nature and the earth unless you face the field of psychic magnetism. If you go out on a trail, you might get away from people for a while, but they'll come right back. So how do you do it in your ordinary family of origin? That's the great teaching, and your ordinary circumstances. Now, when you get to earth, gravity, that's the safety mechanism that Imani was pointing to. That allows projections to come to you in such a way that they touch your gravity and they back off as a principle. If you've got a lot of gravity, people don't mess with you as much. Of course, it's all relative, you know, but this is what you want to do for safety, physical healing, things like that, is find a lot more gravity. So you got the scent of the soil. That's earth. What else is earth? Anybody want to chime in? What else is earth? Please.
Well, for me, it's been floating in the ocean and gazing at the sky. It's been my sacred journey for quite a few months. Discovered this place, when it's perfect tide, I swim, and then I'll swim to work out, and then I'll get to a place and the ocean is bubbling over the coral reef, and then I float and gaze at the sky, because I know the teaching that mind is sky. And so I embody that and just relax and bring it into all my body. So that's been very healing for my nervous system.
Thank you. As that comes into your body, is it like a contact point with the water? One of the great keys for us today is to find out how this sky enters into conflict in our own minds and bodies and performs lots of healings in the body. Is the water and the sea a contact point to get to the gravity of the earth?
Yeah, because I'll notice, even as I'm floating, I'll notice that I'm tensing. And I'm like, oh, okay, so I can just keep relaxing more and more and more. And just totally letting go. And it feels like totally a contact point. And I try to relax my mind as much as possible. And maybe, no, at that point, I'm not doing mantra. Maybe I'll be saying thank you or something like that. But I try to rest my mind completely.
That's the miracle we're all trying to get to. And we all do get to when we go to sleep. But then the old boyfriend calls or something happens. And that's it. It's all out the window. That's why I want to bring to you the combination of gravity and levity. So the journey into meditation is the journey out of conflict. And all of human beings are getting better at that because of the shock, because of the fear, and because of the violence, and because of this kind of stuff. So we're all getting better because you can get out of conflict either through shock or beauty. Hopefully you pick the beauty in the floating in the ocean more than, oh, I'm going to get into another bad circumstance so that I can then ground. See, both of those will ground you. If a snake appears, that'll ground you. That'll get you out of your mind. If some beautiful thing appears, that'll do it too. So we need to recognize that meditation is not just going out of conflict. but then it's going into conflict. But if you go into conflict within your own mind and body, then the projections of other people, you just start to, your body will light up more. Your body will become more liquid, so that the freeze points from this person and that person and this kind of a situation, that kind of a situation, and politics and whatever, it'll have you become more responsible in sense of a great magnetism here on earth that enables us to manage conflict. So I'm going to try to get back to that at every turn I can, because the challenge is that you've had so much conflict that you're like, conflict is not the solution. I'm done with conflict. I get it. I get it. And I agree, except I just want to make sure that if something pushes on you, which is the whole universe does that, that you don't freeze anymore, because that's what causes the body pains and issues more than really anything else. So how can you find a lot of feet and start to reactivate areas of your body that become gristly? You feel neurons reconnect in your brain from damage. You can feel spinal things lighting up. So spirituality in gravity and in conflict means that you're going to have a new neurology all the time and a new tendrality. Tendrality means your connections in psychic space to your family, people, history, the critical voice of condemnation in your own brain. The confusion is, what is this world? I don't understand a thing. So it's a new interface module, I used to call it. So you could start to see things more before you see people, before you get out of the bed and go see and go whatever you're going to do. So human beings, they project themselves. We project ourselves. And we want to be valued and want to be heard. And we want to, be the leader, be recognized as being special. And hopefully I ruined that for you today. Because the whole thing is that I'm not so special, actually. Well, people have been calling me a little special my whole life, but I don't mean that. What I mean is that, who's special? Everybody. You know who's really special in that sense? Sages, real sage people. We're not real sage people. Please don't drive me crazier than I already am. That's what everybody does. Everybody wants to believe they're the great sage. And what I'm hoping to do today is to make you feel safe enough that you recognize that there is such a thing as a real enlightened sage. It's not you, it's not me. And they're trying to find you in a place where you'll be receptive so that they can go whoosh, 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 magic, heal stuff. There's people like that. And they make a small percentage, and they're almost impossible to find. But all the legendary sages and saints, the Buddhas and the Jesus and whatever, you find them in there. Tibetan yogis. I'm a student on Wudang Mountain, and I like to go find out some. These are real Taoist priests. I tell my Qigong and Tai Chi students and all that, what the heck are you learning with me for? There's these guys and gals, and they're like, or the Tibetan nuns. You get anywhere near them, they're like, or Amici or something. Anybody ever see Amici? They're like glowworms. There's some kind of presence, the same thing that you would do if you heal somebody, because anybody's anywhere near me, they're a healer, and that's what their job is. So if that's what you do in life, then people get a whiff of that magic you have, and they surrender themselves and they get healed. And that's great. But please heal other people from an overflow, not a squeeze. Same words. Anthony and Upinder heard these things 1,000 times. But same idea. How can you be nourished so much by somebody else, something else, that you don't have to be in control of the universe anymore. You don't have to do that. You can kind of like conduit, be a conduit instead. So we need to look more into the stuck spot map. Who else has something, or if anybody wants to share, please. The stuck spot map. What's going on in your body? What's going on in your brain? Hello, hello, hello. Is there anybody?
I can speak where I've been experiencing some stuck spots. I've been noticing more and more where there are spots where I'm not in that full trust, right, of life, because I get a physical reaction in my body. So I'm like, oh, okay. I'm not fully there. And usually for me, what brings it back is my breathing, because my breathing is usually, I've noticed, you notice the patterns. And then once I'm able, if I'm able to just focus on my breath, in those moments, I find that I'm able to get back, to that place of neutrality, and like just that non-judgment, the non-resistance, right? The surrender, I think that Anthony was mentioning earlier. And you were talking about the allowance of being a conduit, right? Of that universal energy of the chi, or of that overflowing of love, and that dropping of the boundary of self and other or outside. What's been really interesting for me has been how embedded physically it can get kind of in your body. So I feel like I've been learning more tools lately as far as to physically shift the energy too, and to kind of release it through like dance movement, or like I learned a scream towel technique too. I find, though, interestingly enough, that the most powerful screams are actually silent, and it's just like this energy, right? And it like, for me, I find when I'm in a state of resistance to what's appearing, my solar plexus or my abdominals crunch up, and so one way that I've been kind of releasing that has been, I think, through the silent screams, actually. But what it is sometimes there's like this visualization I get where the energy is kind of like this ball, and I just kind of, when I lean forward to like, move that, it kind of like it travels up and out as I bend down. So I'm really kind of, interested in learning more techniques, you know what I mean, and more ways to move congested energy.
Yes.
So that I can be a change. Yeah.
I'll sign up. You know what? In some places in these stuck spot things, we look at it in such a way as though it's not us, but it really is us. And to become transparent means that the issues of the human genome are present to you in some matter.
Of course.
So there are real issues. There are real issues where I have to say, I don't understand. I'm confused. I do this that way, that the other thing.
Yeah.
The essence of the 3 steps of all process goes according to these 3 steps. The first step is that you have a personal problem. Personal problem. Emotionally, behaviorally. We can talk about the physical afterwards, but it really is that way. I need more education on how to listen better and speak better. Something. And this changes the direction of the energy from going to the intellect to then look at our energy system and define it, to then feeling it. Because you're going to see a tie-in of mind and body that's inseparable. As long as we have a body, mind and body is pretty much the same thing. When you do transcendental awareness, that transcendental awareness doesn't have a body. That's the intellect or transcendental of the intellect. So meditation is above the level of intellect and senses. Embodied meditation is the transfer station to find out our biological biography. And this will be available to you if you all want to, look at it and hear it 1,000 times, because that's the only way I know to learn. The only skill that ever is developed is the skill of endless repetition. A lot of times we get tired of learning and we say, okay, I'm going to do it myself now. And we find our own methods. But you know what your greatest gift is, your greatest healing, your greatest magic? That's a person, an actual person that comes around. So as we get older, we have this tendency to give up on people as being magical, like a little baby. And we just kind of do it our own way. But I don't want our meditations to become dissociative, which is sort of all of our problems. So my suggestion in looking at that energy would be, how can this relate to me as an individual? Not in a blame way that condemns you. You had enough of that. But in a way that you can work with it emotionally. Everything's emotions. Every thought is an emotion. People think there's a separation of thought and emotion. It's not true. The basis of every thought is emotional. No matter what thought or what object, this is an emotion, this is an emotion, this is an emotion. It's all a bunch of feelings, So what we want to do is fall in love and become happy. Unless you're all a bit busy, I understand. But we're going to go outside now. I think the snow's off the ground. And we're just going to forget it and do some movement. Oh, look at this, huh? So these are from all real experiences. This is from Amaji's wrist. This is from one of the world's top Taoist Qigong masters who was raised on Wudang Mountain. This is from Buddha's birthplace, blah, 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 blah. It goes on and on. This is a 1,000-year-old Tibetan sacred thing made from a meteorite. This is a 4.5 billion year old meteorite. That's Neem Karoli Baba. You know him, huh, Shantae?
I've heard of him. Yeah,
Oh,
I've heard of him.
Oh, that's a good one. That's one of the legend people.
Oh yeah.
And on and on. All right, let's just go do some movement, okay? Here we are at 8,500 feet in the Rocky Mountains. It was 10 degrees the other day. I'm walking barefoot, but it's warm now. It's like 50 something. So I'm going to see if I can make it out here. I think I can. To just show you the mountains over there. Is that an okay camera angle? Because I can't see. Hello?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. So there's 360 degrees of mountains. See them across, I don't know if you could see it, but across the way there, very far. Yeah, it's got to be 100 miles, I guess. That's the San Juan Mountains, and these are the Sangre de Cristos. There's about 30 monasteries here. Giant monasteries. One of the weirdest places you ever see in your life, if anybody wants to visit. And one road in, one road out. 360 degrees of mountains. Some of the highest peaks in North America, 14,000 feet. Somebody falls off that mountain, at least one to four, 1 to 5 every year and dies. That mountain I just showed you. People come from all over the world to climb that mountain. I don't know how many died this year. I think it was 3, but you never know because you miss them, you know. Om Shanti, Shanti. Ah, Shanti, Shanti. I just figured it out before. I actually didn't figure that out. Here's our backyard. That's our garden. 10 degrees the other day. Today warm. Who knows what happens? Colorado weather is really fun like that. It goes up and down. So it'll be winter and summer alternating for the next 2 months. There'll be a foot of snow. 2 days later, it'll be 60, 70 degrees. That'll be going for at least 2 months from now. Please rise if you can. If anybody doesn't want to, it's all good. Whatever. It's fine. Cool. Okay. 3 powers, 3 treasures. 3 powers, 3 treasures. 3 powers, 3 treasures. 3 powers, 3 treasures. Those 2 subjects is the deepest thing that you could learn about Qigong mastery. Now, from 3 powers and 3 treasures, have the understanding of the inner practices of Qigong, working with energy. So hopefully just from our talk, you have some magnetic energy in your hands. Is that true for everybody? Did I do a little lighting up? I hope so. Where you have some magnetic energy going, yeah or no? Okay. So just like if you're going to heal somebody, massage somebody, do chakra or whatever, I want you to have that magnetic energy now in your own hands. And now it's going to be for the most important project of your life, you. The main working with energy in Qigong is called grand heavenly circulation. So you're going to open up to the sky above you. And just hold that posture a while. Tangibly, like Larry floating on the ocean. Tangibly, really getting that sky going in your awareness. And now bring it in. You see my hands coming in? Bring it in to the top of your head. Wipe over your face and swallow. Swallowing power is a big deal for your metabolism and your immune system. So swallow. Swallow. And then down, soften the chest, soften your heart. And bring down through your body, all the way down through the earth. Keep wiping down. Can you feel the earth, person, alive? Prayer hands. Open up, a little bow to the sky, open up to the sky. Gather in from the sky. How many essences can you feel? Blue sky, clouds, stars, galaxies. Touch the head. Bring it down through the body. And now trace with your fingertips down the front of your body and then out the back of your body. Over your butt, the back of your legs, and down all the way through to the ground. Touch the ground. Can you do that? All right. And now palms on the earth if you can. Or touch the earth if you can. And now draw up from the earth. and bring your fingers over your feet, over the front of your body, over the front of your legs, and then your fingers up the sides of your body. That's good. Just bring your fingers up, bring your fingers, good, like this. And then it's going through your spine, through the spine and through the head and back up to the sky. That's the main energy exercise of Qigong, grand heavenly circulation. From the sky, gather in. Swallow down, inner looking, inner listening, inner feeling. Soften the heart, soften the chest so that the energy goes from the head through the heart, down through the front of the body, over the butt, back of the legs, touch the earth. Palms on the earth. On the floor is fine. Bringing in the front of the body. Up the front of the legs. Now transferring with your fingers on the sides of the body. And then as you're doing this sides of the body, it's going through the spine, over the outside of the spine in this form, actually. So over the outside of the spine, you're just sort of helping yourself remember that you're doing that. And up over the back of the head, the top of the head, and out and up.
William,
Yeah.
can you step back so we can see your whole body?
Okay. That work?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's good.
Yes, that's good.
That's good.
That's good.
Yeah.
So just sit in your body. You've got to take your meditation, your transcendental meditation, all the beauty, all of the wonder that you have in your magic inner self, and you've got to land it in this world of conflict. But land it where you're standing. You don't have to worry about out there and him and her and this and that. They're all going to be knocking on you anyway. Don't worry about that. Just get your feet going. All right. So we're like this, and the sky. Gather in. Like this. Fall in love, be happy in your own body by yourself. Down this way. Like this. Out the back of the legs, back of the knees, all the way down, and touch the in back of your heels if you can. Now, switch around to the front. You're going to suck up from the earth from the front of your feet. That's called bubbling well in Qigong. So you're going to have the palms on the earth, and you're going to grab the ground with your feet. And now grab and draw the suction part of your foot. You know the front of your foot when you clench your toes, how it has like a little divot in there? You're grabbing the ground with your feet. And that's going to help you bring down the gift of life and love and all these things. Peace of mind without thought. What you have in your secret world, you're going to be able to land it in your own flesh and blood. Grab the ground with your feet to do that. Find the earth. Grab the ground, suck up the power of the earth, because the earth is longing to give. So it comes up the front of the legs. You go like this, the front of the legs. See? Now like this. And it transfers. You just do this to give you a route to help yourself. But it's on the outside of your spine. This is called the fire path as well as circulation. There's the fire path, the water path, and the wind path. We're going to learn them. This is the basic idea to get your chi flowing, like going to sleep, that's the earth, and waking up, that's the sky. This is grand heavenly circulation. the fire path of Qigong. Down like this is going to sleep. Up like this is waking up. In yoga, it's called prananupana. The downloading and digesting of the energy and information of your brain with your body, and then the earth, and then the uploading of the power of the earth through your body, up like this. So let's go again. Open your hands up to the sky. Good. And just remember that that Lari gift of sky magic. Sky, and then the sky comes in to your head, into your head, and then really tangible. You want to be really physical about it. Bring it down. That's very good. Thank you. Keep going down like this. Softening, softening, softening. Out the back of the legs, out the heels. Whoosh. Grab the ground with your feet and put your palms on the earth. Bring it up. Over the spine. Back of the head, top of the head, up to the stars. Celestial communication produces the cosmic download. Just follow along with me, Kay. You can't understand why we do what we do, but hopefully you'll have a lot of magic at the end. So you can feel it, but you can't really understand it. And training is never comfortable. We all just want no training. It's not going to work. This way. Gather in. Over the spine, magnetic bubble. Moving all over the spine. Up. Gather in. Okay. Listen, fearful clinging keeps you separate from the vast expanse of nature's nourishing. So when you're in love, when you're happy, you're no longer subject-object oriented, inner outer world. You're boundless. So your training, going to the ocean, doing this, doing that, that gets you another experience of becoming boundless. So now we're going to do some more in that direction. Prayer hands. And now bow to all the trees and the cats and the dogs and the alligators and the bears and the everybody, all the people. And open up to those feelings, just like you would receive nourishment from cuddling a pet. Well, there's tons of those nourishments all around you. Mountains, gather in, calm the cortex, because that's what has to calm down. Every religion, every enlightenment system, they touch there, they bless there, they kiss there. Why? Because that's what's scared. So calm this down and bring it down through the body, swallow down. Prayer hands to the sky. Blue sky, clouds, rain, stars, galaxies, 3 a.m. twinkling stars. Gather in, touch the top of the head. Bring it down through the body, swallow down, down into the earth. Prayer hands. The earth underneath. Soil, plants, magma, metal ball, beetles and worms. Opening up. Gather in those different nourishments, those feelings. Because that's what causes bodily healing. Touch the head, down through the body. since there's a lot of worries about the outside world and the relationships and all, why don't you wash those relationships? Your role and their role. Just wash it. Everybody loves a servant, so just wash it. Keep going. Soften your arms, soften your elbows. Slow, slow, slow down. Good. Look at your fingers. Are your fingers very soft and relaxed? And make the connection between you and anyone that's in the environment, and you're just washing them. Okay. Now push a car. So the magnetism goes out to actually push the shopping cart or the car, but you're not putting it into your muscles. So this is a way to generate more magnetic power. Just push. And make sure you're very grounded. You have a lot of feet. Always have a lot of feet. Otherwise, you can't be safe in this world. Push, push, push. Om. And now keep doing that. Magnetism. Oh, good. Push, push, push. Go like this. Imani. Go like this. Push, 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 push. Like you're pushing a cart, pushing a shopping cart.
You keep pushing your hands forward.
Relax the shoulders, drop the elbows. Oh, somebody's trying to get in or something. Let me see.
It was me.
Okay.
You keep pushing your hands.
Okay. Let's wash the front here. And now imagine water flowing out of your fingertips. Fingertips are really important in Qigong. They're considered an area of extreme intuition. Okay. Now practice just standing. Just stand where you are. This is called Zhuanggung. And in Qigong, this is the thing that you do for years before you even learn one Tai Chi move. When we're talking about real Tai Chi, your connection to the earth is very important.
William, can we see your feet?
Sure. You're bringing the sky to the earth, and then the earth to the sky. That's grand heavenly circulation. When your mind touches the earth through your feet, it's a very unique thing. Your ordinary psychology in how you grew up and whatever your histories are, that's where you need to have feet. Put your hands like this. Zhuanggung, standing post meditation. And drop the shoulders and elbows so you're not like this. Shoulders are dropped, chest is relaxed. Energy is conduiting down from the sky and up from the earth. Fingertips are talking to each other. Does anybody not feel magnetism in their hands now? Okay. Now put that magnetism into your own heart. Okay. And we're going to learn one finger Zen. Qigong began about 5,000 years ago. And just like every tradition, it's based on shamanism. It's based on connecting with the nourishments of animals and dolphins and birds and being in that boundless place like you are when you're alone in nature, but with your psychology and with your relationships. So they started out with the bear dance. And then there was a guy named Huang Di, and he created the understanding of the three powers and all the foundations of Chinese medicine. Chinese medicine is based on Qigong. Do you know that? Acupuncture is based on Qigong. So what we're learning is to quiet everything down so much that you gather a lot of internal power. And then whatever you want to do with that internal power, I'm all game for it. I support you in doing exactly whatever you need to do. Clear this out, clear that out, get active. That's great. But remember that the training is more about the learning to go within and quiet the mind. And you're going to need support for that. Everybody does. And that's with sky and nature and maybe some good people in the midst of the sky and nature, huh? And they give transmissions. It's all in the transmission. Now, this is called One Finger Zen, and that developed about 500 AD. There's a lot of different forms of Qigong, but One Finger Zen came with this monk called Bodhidharma, and he synthesized the information of energy from pranayama and yoga and from Tibetan methods, and he created these disciplines that is the advanced Qigong. which is foundationally what we're doing today, but then there's, other things. Well, anyhow, this person that was such a powerhouse of Qigong healing and wisdom, he created a form called One Finger Zen. One Finger Zen goes like this, goes something like this. Om, opening up to the stars. Om, gathering the stars, putting the stars in your head. Stars circulating as a galaxy from your head to your throat. Every religious tradition, every enlightenment tradition imagines nature inside the body. Hum means that it comes into the heart. Hum, spiraling galaxy. Did you know that the heart is a gland as well as an organ? And that the heart has a 40-foot field of measurable magnetism. The most advanced way to diagnose a heart in a hospital is called a magnetocardiogram. They measure the magnetism of the heart just like Star Trek. So that's magnetic central for your body. If you need healing, if you need to break through psychological things or resolve some issue, you want to create super coherence in your heart and then have it go through your body. And this is a way to begin that process by going Om, Om. Silly forms are great, like that. Once again, ready? Imagine the stars. Om, Hum. Little bow. And then how softly can you open your fingers and come down? Oh, that was great. Good. Palms on the sides of your hips. Equalize your hips. What's going on in your hips? Your hips. Let's dance. Let's shout. Shake your body now to the ground. Let's dance. Let's shout. Oh, I get distracted. Om, like this. Hands talking to each other. To the hips. Adjust the hips. Adjust the head. Palms coming up. Palms facing each other. Coming up. Energy. Energy. And energy. Like this. Start over. Om, Hum. Can you just do that on your own, please? Om, Hum. Good. Make sure you have a bend in your knees. After the Om, Hum, you do like this, and like this, and like this. Hips, head, stretch the spine so that they say in Qigong, if you want to have the wind of heaven in your body, how about having a light and sensitive head top, lifting your whole body like a dancer, like that Imani. Ready? Om, Hum. Like this, and down. Hips, head, up, press. 1, 2, 3. Like this. Now I'm going to turn around and then you could see it from there. See those mountains there? Remember I said 360? The tree line's 10,000 feet. Of course, I wish the ocean was here too. You're imagining the stars. Stars turns into a spiraling galaxy and it comes into the center of your brain. Then it comes into your throat. Then into the heart, spiraling galaxy. Like this. Want to try it? Oh, that's good. Yeah, and then you could do it any old way you like, but the way to get the transmission is to just go ahead and do it like I'm asking. Could you please do it for me one time? Om, ah, hum, and all of it. When you do this one, you want to do a little bit of energy and the more magnetism than the second time, more magnetism. Then the third time, even more. Open up and you feel it. And then like this. So we've got to do something for mind, body, and spirit as a prep. If you do a prep for your mind, for your body, for your thought, for your emotion, for your dancing, for your transcendental journeying, for words, for the body's energy system, if you do a bunch of different things, it's like the energy systems of your body start to sing together. It creates that third hum, like two engines in sync. The chakras of the body are more easily understood, like good head on your shoulders, heartfelt, heart-centered, intestinal fortitude, guts, backbone, and so forth. There's a lot of phrases that relate to your centers and your psyche and your centers. Senses. All right, let's go meditate. That was an hour and a half. Can you believe it? I think so. Is that right?
That we just did.
Where are we at, Opinder?
It's been an hour and a half. Lori, were you trying to say something? You're on mute, Lori.
Oh,
Okay.
what do you call that one? And what were the 3 syllables? One more time.
Thank you. One finger Zen, and I will make sure a link is available for all of you to a guy named Ken Cohen who does it very nicely, and you could use that, or you continue with me. We have a year-long group master teacher certification going on. Om is the first. Ah is the second. And hum is the third. Okay. Here's what we do now. Get that piece of paper that you had before. And on the other side of the piece of paper, start to write down your most favorite things that you love in your life on every level. Your eyes, your ears, your nose, your intellect. Let time go. Let everybody go. Let the world go right now. That's not for now. For now, we're just going to do you falling in love and becoming happy and being healed. Me too. That's what training is, for your body. Everything you can think of on the level of senses, psyche, centers. Senses, psyche, centers. Ooh, I froze. Okay. Did Taz go in, honey? No? I think you're on mute.
I didn't see him. I called him.
Okay, well, he must be playing with his friends. The list as detailed as you possibly can. How detailed can you make that list? Can you find some secret childhood place that you had years ago that you used to go to as a little girl or boy? Can you remember that place?
So, like you said, things like we love about ourselves physically, or what else? Everything?
Yeah, everything. As much as you can, because the more references you have, the more that you'll be able to trick your own mind into healing. In other words, if you do something physically, like I like going out and laying on my back and doing that sky, and I'm doing it, and nobody's stopping me, because you got to have discipline no matter what in life. So you got to make sure it happens. And because the whole world is going to try to have it not happen, believe me. Because when you give attention to yourself, everybody else is going to say, why aren't you paying attention to me? So you need to make sure that you're healed if you're going to heal anybody in your life and so forth. So physically, yeah. And then you'll trick your mind into healing. If you then go, oh, I love this quote from Walt Whitman or whatever. Or if you do scriptures, yoga scriptures, something somewhere on every level, flowing water, the scent of lavender. Just keep on making that list and dive into that list for your own healing of your mind and body. And don't ever go back. Don't ever come back. And dive into it and make your body enriched with it. And then present that power to your primary relationships so that you can create some more harmony and things like that. Because that's the junction point between you and the world, whoever's in your mind or whoever's in your life. So ears, nose, eyes, thought, emotion, memories, songs, movie clips. Really just struggle a little bit with that discipline element of having to walk to the beach to get to do the floating. Some days you don't feel like doing it, but you get to it and you do it, and that's a nice thing. Same here. We're going to be silent now and just let you do that. Honey Pie, you're still on microphone.
牵住你的手，想别在黄河流，波涛万里长江水，送你下扬州。真情伴你走，春色为你留。
There should be people on that list.
桥明月夜，牵挂在扬州。
Friend.
扬州城有没有我这样的好朋友？扬州城有没有人为你分担忧和愁？扬州城有没有我这样的知心人啊？扬州城有没有人和你风雨同舟？
Try to feel into each one of your answers. Let whoever is in your environment, let them go and just concentrate just for you on something on that list where you can get the feeling and just start to have the body become heavy. This is step 2. Step 1 is the exposure of personal issues, that stuck spot map. Step 2 is the welcoming in now to some refreshment. Clean the slate. Sign the new lease, script a new role. See how you're going to do it better in some kind of way, something. And let the support come in from some of these choices that are on your list. And slow down. That's the magic, is super slow rhythm like you have when you do your personal things that are restoring for you. But now you're doing it with your conscious mind, the field of magnetism, the people in your life, embodied meditation, bringing your gifts to your neurology. And you're letting the sound of flowing water and this music and that memory all combined and make some magic pie. And now turn all your cameras off. Turn your cameras off. It will be on the bottom left. I'll leave mine on. And go into the things on the one side of the paper, your problems, your traumas, your sadnesses, and go into the supports, the things that can shift your biology. Mix them together, slow your breath, and then make your way towards step 3. Step 3 in all meditation systems is the magic place. In science called brainwave coherence. In yoga, samadhi. In qigong, embryonic breathing. Tibetan Buddhism, rigpa. It's the place of breathtaking beauty. Or breathtaking, whatever you want to call it. Some amazing moment. I want you to have that moment with your body and mind intact, not dissociatively, so that your metabolism and repairs that need to be done can begin to happen. New ways of interacting with that person and that memory and that thing can begin to form. So, go into your list Remember that secret childhood place. Lengthen your breath. Lengthen it, lengthen it. Don't go to no breathing just yet. Lengthen it, lengthen it. Super slow. That's subconscious processing power. That's how you influence the quantum field. Conscious sleeping is meditation. Your mouth should light up. Sweet taste in the mouth. You can learn how to make that happen almost immediately when you meditate. Find your way towards natural pauses and sighs of relief. That's step 3. No breath, no thought, no time, no past, no future. Let your body be really heavy, like it's in deep sleep, but still stay conscious.
飘云天外，唤醒百花，新的开放，高歌欢庆新春来，爱新春唤醒百花，新开放，高歌欢庆新春来，爱新春
Now just a little bit of silence. Silence is like mental antiseptic. If you have a wonderful moment of some kind, the mind will go quiet. Your My Favorites list can help you ensure that you found different things over the years. This works for me, this works for me. I encourage you to just keep on accepting some of those things that you put on that list. If you have to get up at 3 a.m. to make it happen, then do that. But reach silence, reach deep relaxation. If you have an exposed need like step 1, it's easier for the help to come in from the breeze. Something. And when you're ready, please turn the cameras back on and we'll sum up for the completion of the first section. And then after we do that, we'll take a break for 30 minutes and then we'll meet back here and do another version of the same kind of thing. So that each time you reach meditation and you embody it, you put it back into your connection with Earth, you go into conflict. Each time you do it, it's like dipping in magic waters. Your body transfigures, healings happen undeniably. So that's what we all want. Better self, better life, so forth. It's in these dips that we're going to have it. When you come back from meditation or whatever version of self-healing, however you have it happen, right? Now think about earth and environment as a bunch of messages on how your own mind and your own body and your own life is going to be healthier if you could just listen. So rather than building walls because of being in shock, or let me say it this way, rather than using the energy and immediately going back to the relationships and immediately going back, oh, meditation, got that, now let's get going. No, first establish your body, your mind to be solid. Because if you just jump up, the energy gets stolen in the air. Because this field of psychic magnetism, everybody's playing for who gets the energy. If you have connections to what's above people, like nature, you could face people and you could be solid and you could move and shake better. You could be heard, you could be listened to. But first, you got to apply what you've gained into that gristly process of your own neurology. Where is it in your body that it's got to change, it's got to heal, it's got to upgrade? So bring all the energy down from up here. That's what happens with a great transcendental experience. You're up here. The word in Chinese is shong. I created an English translation for you. It's hevergizing empoweration. What that means is heavy and energizing together. Hevergizing, empoweration. So you're allowed to have your feet, your connection to the earth. Nobody has the right to encroach on that. So establish your feet, establish your little space by being aware of things like feet and letting whatever it is you're afraid of in the environment, letting it come and using it to clean yourself on the inside. If you try to keep it out, it's going to try to come in more. So let it come in while you have time so that it can actually make you transfigure, make you healed. So whatever the projections are out there in your environment, let them come in into your body all the way down till you touch the earth so that you find your root. The gravity of you when you come back from a wonderful experience is irrefutable. Then you can do things. You can make your way. It's going to be easier. So we learned a little bit about the Scribbles map and how important that is. We learned a little bit about your religion is your my favorites list. So it's good to be really specific about it. I like this song. I like this place. I like this action. I like this spiritual belief, whatever. I like this tree. I like this dolphin. Oh, I wish I was there. Somebody could show me the dolphins. You know, all these things on the my favorites list. And you pour the my favorites list into your personal needs and you find moments that ripple. You find one moment where there's no thought, one moment where you feel cared about as an individual. You got to interrupt the endless conflict to do that. You come back from it and you root. You learned a couple of silly dances, one finger Zen, wash the field. Remember that no skill is ever developed without endless repetition. If you want skill in the body, you need to do that. You want skill in the emotion, you got to do that. And the need is way bigger than we're ever going to fix or solve as far as I understand. So just keep going. But you do this one. We're going to learn about how to refine your movement in daily life. So if you don't want to do silly forms, you can just practice opening and closing a door. That's with a real master. Everything becomes a worship. Everything becomes an opportunity for embodiment. What else we learn? We learn one finger Zen. Om Ahum. And yep. So we're going to break, have some lunch, and enjoy a little rest. And then we're going to start over again like babies that don't know a darn thing. That's how I'm going to start over. So, it's a lot of stretching of time, you know, real training. The hardest part is doing it with people. But if you do this now, watch how lit up you're going to be. As soon as I click end the meeting for now, you're going to be like, whoop, I'm free. Freaking weirdo. All right, I love you all. See you in a half hour, okay?
Okay, a half hour. So 12:30 for us guys.
Shut up.
Bye.